activity done? Did any one of you try the activity? We don't? We try. All right. Anyone? No. Do the homework, don't do activity. I don't know what the youngsters love to do now. All right. So one thing before we start, tell me what is Archimedes Principle. Like this, you can practice. What is Archimedes Principle? We did decide, I think the last class was devoted for Archimedes Principle. Something that you know. Draw an object in okay, so let's say I drop a stone in this. A stone is dropped. Will it experience some upthrust? Will the stone experience upthrust? Will the stone experience upthrust? Now, Archimedes was the one who said ये upthrust कितना experience करेगा. So how much upthrust will this stone experience around this? The amount of distilled water. What amount? Amount in the sense volume of distilled water, weight of distilled water, or volume. So upthrust is equal to volume of displaced water. Now this is what everywhere student goes wrong. मुझे बताइए upthrust क्या था? Which quantity is it? It is a force, right? And here, by saying this, you are saying force is equal to volume. Force का units क्या होता है? Newton. और expand करो तो kg per meter per second square, right? Mass to acceleration, kg meter per second square. Volume का unit क्या होता है? Meter cube. ये दोनों चीज कभी सेम हो सकती है. So आप कैसे बोल सकते हो upthrust is equal to volume of displaced water? Here you are going from it is the not volume of displaced water. No, this is very wrong. It is मैंने क्या बोला था ये जितना पानी आप यहाँ पे कलेक्ट करोगे उस पानी का आपको क्या करना है? वजन नापना है. ठीक है, वजन जो आप नापते हो वजन is what? A force. So यहाँ पे upthrust is equal to weight of the displaced water. It is very important. What you do, not you, everybody, you know, whenever Archimedes Principle is asked for the person, this straight away say upthrust force is equal to volume of displaced water. Like Archimedes ने तो आप लोगों को पता जितना आप हाथ अंदर डालेंगे उतना ही पानी ऊपर आ जाएगा. तो पानी का वॉल्यूम कितना ऊपर आए, लेवल ऊपर है, लेवल में चेंज होगा उसकी बात हो रही है. पर यहाँ पे आर्किमिडीज ने लेवल में कितना चेंज हुआ था उसकी बात नहीं की थी. आर्किमिडीज ने बताया था कि दिस पर्टिकुलर स्टोन विल आल्सो एक्सपीरियंस सम अपवर्ड पुश. दैट अपवर्ड पुश इज इक्वल टू बेसिकली द अपवर्ड फोर्स और द अपथ्रस्ट और द बायोन्सी फोर्स. काफी सारे नाम है. That is equal to weight of the displaced water. When you say it is equal to weight of the displaced water, upthrust is also a force and of course weight is also a force. So आप यहाँ पे भी correct बात कर रहे हैं. ठीक है, एक्चुअली फिजिक्स में ये चीजें बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट होती है. इसको डायमेंशन एनालिसिस बोलते हैं. आपने डायमेंशन एनालिसिस से कोई चीज रॉन्ग इक्वेट करने की कोशिश की है. सो आई होप नेवर एवर विल यू से दिस थिंग. यू विल स्पीक आर्किमिडीज प्रिंसिपल करेक्टली. ठीक है. Now, since I have again explained you everything, let's say they both are the same containers. ठीक है, I'm changing the scenario. What is happening over there? Pay attention. Very important question. Okay, and this is the water level. ठीक है. This is some object, some circular object. So of course, what is the water displaced? Water displaced will be this much volume of water is displaced in this scenario. And the same object, if it is pushed further inside, then this much जगह water की displaced हुई होगी. यहाँ level थोड़ा बढ़ गया होगा. So यहाँ पे इतना अंदर dip किया है, यहाँ पे और ज़्यादा dip किया है. So यहाँ पे displaced water कितना होगा? इतनी जगह जितनी यहाँ पे ली है उतनी जगह water के displaced यहाँ पे आप collect कर सकते हैं, right? So this is the amount of displaced water. And in this case, how much is the amount of displaced water? Slightly greater than this case. Yes. Right? So clearly, can you tell me, what is your name, Vika? Sanika, can you tell me in case 1 or case 2? In which case the ball is experiencing more upthrust force? Case 1 or case 2? Case 2. And why is that? We just don't say area. This is 2D picture, but such na pura ball अंदर गया है तो volume की बात करेंगे. I can't draw 3D picture. So this is the area. Basically, this is the volume. 3D में आप picture करोगे. So the volume of the displaced water is more compared to volume of the displaced water here, right? And we know कि अगर volume of water displaced ज़्यादा है तो जब आप इसका वजन नापेंगे और इसका वजन नापेंगे, किसका वजन ज़्यादा होगा? इसका वजन ज़्यादा होगा. So clearly जिसका वजन ज़्यादा होगा, that is experiencing more upthrust. ठीक है? Now comes the third scenario. The third scenario is this one. ठीक है? Now this. So dip करते गए upthrust, like she is saying, as more and more water is displaced, more and more upthrust is experienced. Now it is completely immersed. ठीक है? This is completely immersed. Water, amount of water displaced is this much, right? Yes. ठीक है? अब मान लीजिए, this is case 3, and मैं से और अंदर immerse करूँगी case 4. थोड़ा और नीचे चले, उससे पुश कर दे या खुद ही नीचे जा रहा है, शायद स्टोन है तो पहले इतना गया, फिर थोड़ा और अंदर चला गया, फिर अंदर चला गया और अंदर जा रहा है. ठीक है? अब मुझे बताइए केस 3 और केस 4 में who is experiencing more upthrust? You have the law, Archimedes Principle is there. So 1 and 2 में she clearly said 2 is experiencing more upthrust, more displaced water, therefore weight of the displaced water is higher compared to case 1. Now in 3 and 4, it may be same. Maybe what is more? What is more? She's thinking same. Good. Equal and same or something else. Okay, sir. I think the whole side over there thinks it is equal. Now let's look at the law. It said that upthrust force आपको पता करना है कितना है, तो आपको जानना पड़ेगा कितना डिस्प्लेस हुआ है वाटर, और आप उसका फिर वजन चेक कर लीजिए. So यहाँ पे कितना डिस्प्लेस हुआ है वाटर, इतना. ठीक है? जब वो और नीचे जाएगा उससे शेप चेंज हो रहा है क्या? तो अमाउंट ऑफ जो वाटर डिस्प्लेस हुआ रहेगा वो भी सेम रहेगा. So amount of displaced water same है तो उनका वजन भी सेम हो जाएगा. So in both the scenarios, upthrust is what? Same, because displaced water is what? Same. Is this clear? So you in the experiment part, जब आपने जो ये experiment textbook में आप जब NCERT की textbook में पढ़ोगे, आप देखोगे कि कहा गया है कि this experiment में यहाँ पे वो what is this thing that I'm trying to show you? So in this, as you're moving down, so थोड़ा जो actual वजन था पहले थोड़ा कम होते जाएगा, and जैसे आपने fully immerse कर दिया है, एक बार fully immerse हो गया फिर और नीचे जा रहा है तो यहाँ पे कोई इंडिकेटर में चेंज नहीं होगा. स्टार्टिंग में चेंज होता है. मान लीजिए कि जब आपने एयर में इसका मेजरमेंट लिया ना, so एयर में मेजरमेंट कितना था, मान लीजिए इसका वेट आ रहा था 10 kg, बहुत ज्यादा 1 kg, 1 kg है. ठीक है? 1 kg है, इसका वेट आ रहा था. अब यहाँ पे जाओगे तो थोड़ा अपवर्ड फोर्स आ रहा है. ठीक है? तो कम होकर 1 kg की बजाय भी कुछ 750 ग्राम दिखाई दे रहा है. ठीक है? अब यहाँ और इमर्स हो गया है तो मान लीजिए थोड़ा और करके कुछ 500 ग्राम दिखा दे रहा है. ठीक है? अब मान लीजिए पूरा इमर्स कर लिया है तो कितना हो गया, 450 बता दिया फुल इमर्स होने के बाद. अब फिर फुल इमर्स होने के बाद चाहे यहाँ हो या यहाँ हो, फाइनली इंडिकेटर क्या हो जाएगा, स्टेबल हो जाएगा. इट विल नॉट गो ऑन बिकमिंग लेसर. So there was a question in the textbook of the experiment. They are saying initially when you were inserting the stone, the indicator reading was decreasing. After completely immersing, even if you go further, the decrease is not seen. Why? Because when you are completely immersed, and even if you go further, the upward force acting on them is what? Same, right? because it is completely immersed, and as per Archimedes principle, upward force is equal to weight of the displaced water. So now आप चाहे और कितना भी अंदर जाइए, displaced water कुछ खास change नहीं होने वाला, because object तो same ही है, ठीक है? This somebody might say, oh, but there is string, right? And string with a volume थोड़ा लेगा, but it is very negligible, so we take it as बहुत पतली string ले रहे हैं, उसको हम क्या कर देंगे, physics में we will try to neglect that effect and we will only focus the upward force of the ball or stone or whatever it is. I hope now Archimedes principle is very clear. Archimedes principle क्या बोलता है कि when an object is partially immersed या fully immersed, कुछ भी case हो सकता है, ठीक है? So when an object is partially or fully immersed in a fluid, ठीक है? In a fluid, what will happen? It will experience some upward force, right? And that upward force is equal to what? That upward force is equal to weight of the displaced water. Sorry, this weight of the displaced fluid, because we are writing long. So please write it along with me. I hope you finish it before me and write it clearly. So what is the first thing? So Archimedes principle, it states that first thing, partially या fully कोई भी केस होगा, so आपको लिखना है when an object is partially or fully or completely, whichever English word you want to use. When an object is partially or let's say fully, let's say words completely immersed. I hope आपको immersed का meaning पता होगा, आपने जरूर गणपति विसर्जन किया होगा तो ये वर्ड के पास आएंगे. When an object is partially or completely immersed in a fluid, please write fluid. क्या होने वाला है? That object is going to experience some upward force. You can write it up first. It experiences an upward force, and we clearly know that force is equal to, so upward force which is equal to please don't say volume, it is equal to weight of the displaced of the displaced. Don't write water on a pure displaced fluid. So while writing log, please make sure you write fluid. So this is your Archimedes principle. Very important.
मिस आप कैमरा को थोड़ा नीचे कर दोगे, दिख रहा नहीं है.
I have no idea. इसका लेंथ ही इतना है. Okay.
हाँ अभी ठीक है.
No, I think we diagram. It's all right, draw it. But I believe now in last class also we devoted time for this. I think you will understand it. If the only thing which I want to stress is please don't say upward force is equal to volume of displaced water. Please don't do it. Okay. This is slash, okay, I hope nobody confuses. This is or slash. If it is partially or completely. Is it done? Shall I take? And others can tell me, yes, can you tell me what is density of water? Last class I told you, you remember density of water. Please remember the value of this for water. Within 1 gram per centimeter cube. Yes. We are talking about density of water. What is density of water? Yeah, density formula is mass upon volume, and we are talking about the density of water. Gram by centimeter volume per unit क्या है? Cube. So definitely gram per centimeter cube होगा. And value pushes that is she is correct. 1 gram per cc and he is correct. That is equivalent to 1000 kg per. Are you done with that? So let's go ahead with the next part. So this was Archimedes Principle. We will be solving some questions based on this. And before we do that, let's move to the last topic. So I had asked you about the aluminium. So use your aluminium foil. You all said that yes, I think you all said it will sink. Aluminium foil will sink into water because aluminium की density क्या है? ज़्यादा है ऐसे But let's see what will happen. So before that, so the thing is basically density is a crucial factor. Okay, density of any object is a crucial factor, and density is given by, like she said, that we have done it many times. Density is given by mass upon volume. Don't write this. I think you have written this already. So this is mass upon volume. So if I am asking density of aluminium, that means if density of aluminium is how much density? When I say density of aluminium, I am asking basically how much is the mass? How much is the mass of? In case we are taking about SI unit, so 1 centimeter cube का आपने 1 centimeter का cube ले लिया आपने. इसके dimensions है 1 centimeter length, 1 centimeter breadth and 1 centimeter height. So आपने अगर ऐसा एक cube ले लिया, ठीक है, तो ये सारा 1 1 है, तो इसका volume कितना आ जाएगा? 1 into 1 into 1, so 1 centimeter cube. So ये 1 centimeter का जो cube होगा, इसका अगर मैंने mass check किया, तो इसका mass कितना होगा? That value will give me the density of aluminium. So हर एक cube of aluminium का कितना mass होगा? So density tells you mass per centimeter cube in terms of CGS units, and in terms of SI unit, what is the unit? SI unit क्या है? SI unit is mass हो जाएगा kg and volume हो जाएगा meter and CGS unit क्या होगा? Gram per centimeter cube. This is now we are going to study one last, the simplest one, and then we'll start with questions. So you have one last topic which is known as relative density. Relative density. What is relative density? Relative density is basically if you want to find density of any object, okay, and you are not wanting it purely in the sense of how much value. Okay, let's just get it the easier way. So if I'm saying, I'm asking him, okay, how much I gave you tests, all of you, I gave you some tests, 10 marks ka test diye. And let's say he was the one who scored the highest. Okay? He was the one who scored the highest. And then we check. If I ask you how is your performance compared to him, then you will say, अगर ज़्यादा अच्छा तो आप ज़्यादा अच्छा बोल रहे हो, नहीं ज़्यादा अच्छा तो उससे lower बोल रहे हो. And if he has also equally done well, then they both are same. So basically, here what we do, I am trying to compare your performance with the set performance of his. If he has scored 5, then you will either say, okay, greater than 5 or lower than 5. Instead of giving me numbers, you will say I have done better than him or worse than him. So in that sense, relative density is also finding density with respect to a relative substance. And what is that relative substance? Water. ठीक है, so यहाँ पे क्या होगा, हम हर बार instead of him we will be checking density compared to water. So imagine if he is water and I'm asking what is your density, so that is different thing. If your density अगर पूछे तो आपको proper mass बता देगा. अगर मैं पूछे what is your relative density, so relative density means with respect to him what is your value. Okay, so what is relative density? Density of substance. Yes, हम किससे कंपेयर कर रहे हैं? With respect to water. So नीचे क्या आएगा? Density. ठीक है? So that is, and since what is one thing that you need to remember? Since these two are density, and these two, you can't write one density of substance का जो measurement आ गया आपको kg meter per cube में लिखोगे और आप डेंसिटी ऑफ वाटर जो है वो ग्राम सेंटीमीटर क्यूब में करोगे. आप ऐसा नहीं कर सकते. आपको दोनों के यूनिट्स क्या लिखने पड़ेंगे? सेम फॉर्म में लिखना पड़ेगा. सो मान लीजिए हम यहाँ पे रिलेटिव डेंसिटी ऑफ एल्यूमिनियम की बात करते हैं. सो रिलेटिव डेंसिटी ऑफ एल्यूमिनियम क्या होगी? पहले तो मुझे डेंसिटी ऑफ एल्यूमिनियम पता होना चाहिए. सो डेंसिटी ऑफ एल्यूमिनियम है कुछ 2.7 ग्राम पर सीसी. ठीक है, देयर इज नो नीड टू रिमेंबर, आई एम जस्ट ट्राइंग टू मेक यू अंडरस्टैंड. डेंसिटी ऑफ वाटर, like one of them said, what is density of water? Can you tell me what is density of water? Can you call her? Krishti. Can you tell me what is density of water in SI unit? Can you tell me what is SI unit? SI unit. 10⁻³ मतलब 1000 हो गया. So आप यहाँ पे 1000 लिखोगे या 1 लिखोगे? 1 because ऊपर CGS फॉर्मेट में है. So यहाँ पे भी क्या जाएगा? CG फॉर्मेट में. So 1 gram per cc. Now since these two are density and same units, so units cancel होके आपको सिर्फ क्या मिल जाता है? Ratio. So it is basically ratio of the same quantity. So अगर कोई पूछे what is SI unit of relative density, so does relative density have any units? No. It is just a ratio. It does not have any unit. Is this clear? Okay, so this is the last thing. This is the last topic, relative density. The common substance जिसके साथ हमने comparison किया वो है density of water. आपको density of water पता होना चाहिए in both the formats. In terms of CGS unit, it is 1 gram per cc. ठीक है? And in terms of SI unit, it is 1000 या 10 to the power 3 kg per meter cube. So this is water value. You need to remember water density. ठीक है? चलिए finish this and then we'll start with the numerical part. Okay, the topic is changed. Okay, now we are doing Archimedes Principle. Okay, now we are doing relative density. Is anybody having NCRT? NCRT important questions. Listing next class I'll ask you the values, okay, for water. Please remember. time do we have? 15 minutes. With that, yes. All right. So now let's start solving question answers based on the topics that we have done. This was the last part, and it will take you to one more session for making the question. So let's start with the first question. How does the code of, okay, you can go to page 1 for it. It has NCERT question content. All right, we'll do one thing. I think read out the question, you can give me the answer, then we can do. All right, let's just see if we can find it. The question is, the Earth and Moon are attracted towards each other. This is the question. You will tell me the answer. I think there are some answers already given. Please make sure you also use your own brain. The Earth and Moon are attracted towards each other by gravitational force. The question is, there is an Earth and there is Moon, and they are attracted towards each other by which force? We all know it is gravitational force of gravity. The question says, does the Earth attract Moon with the force greater or smaller or same with which Moon attracts the Earth? So it is saying, does Earth attract Moon? So let's say Earth is attracting with Fe force, okay? And Moon is attracting, Moon is pulling towards each other by Fm. So is it saying, is force with which Earth is pulling greater than force with which Moon is attracting Earth? Is it like this? Is force applied by Earth more than force applied by Moon? Question. It is equal. Same. Equals. Same. Yes, we just saw that, the force with which both of them are pulling each other is known as what? Gravitational force, right? And that is nothing but if you write Fe or Fm, they both are same, because what is that force known as? Gravitational force. So both of them are equal. The force with which Earth is pulling Moon, Moon is also pulling Earth with the same force. So they are saying that both of them are same. So that's the first question that is answered. The second question was why? Because that is nothing but gravitational force of attraction. The most important question is, if Moon also attracts with the same force, why does Earth not move towards the Moon? Why does Earth not move towards the Moon? Because Earth's mass is it's more than its acceleration, whose acceleration? Then Earth acceleration. And it's same like why you and Earth are also two heavenly bodies, right? So you also pull earth with some force, and that same force is earth is pulling you. But does earth move? Does the bottle move downwards toward earth? Yes. So what was the answer? The only answer, because mass of earth is far more than mass of earth. This force is effective on this one, but it doesn't do much impact on this body. Okay? Yes. So that was the answer. The questions are answered, but it is some important one. This one is the most important one. Amit buys few grams of gold at the forts. Please pay attention. It is very important question for him. It's a most important question. So Amit buys few grams of gold at the forts as per the instruction of one of his friends. He hands over the same when he meets him at the equator. So Amit goes and buys. Amit goes to two places. He first goes to port. Let's say he is on North Pole. He goes to North Pole and he is buying some gold. Okay, so Amit buys some X gram of gold. So he buys X gram of gold where? On pole. Okay. Then he brings that same X gram of gold कहाँ पे रखता है? Equator में. And equator में इसको क्या check करना है? Weight check करना है. ठीक है? He goes and he checks weight of this on the equator. Okay, so that is what Amit is going to do. So let me read out the question to you again. Amit buys few grams of gold at the poles as per the instruction of one of his friends. He hands over the same when he meets him at the equator. Will the friend agree with the weight of the gold bought? If not, why? Hint is value of G is greater at poles than that of equator. So he is saying that. So Amit, let's say Amit का कोई friend था, Amit का friend कोई था, let's just call that friend R. Okay, you can give any name. So there is Rishi, Rohan, or Rishti, anybody. So let's call this person R over here, and let's just name it. So anybody Rishi over here. So Rishi tells Amit that please buy some X gram of gold. Let's just give number also. 10 grams of gold लाने बोल दिया था. So Amit, like a good friend, he buys that 10 grams from the pole and hands it over to him at equator. Now this friend Rishi, he doesn't trust. Maybe that is why he goes and cross check basically. Trust only, it's good to verify anything. So he checks the weight of that gold. Okay, so he takes this gold, whichever gold that Amit gave, and now he measures that gold. So the question is, does this friend Rishi will agree to what Amit has got? Will he agree कि हाँ आपने 10 ग्राम ही दिया या कम दिया या ज्यादा हो दिया, क्या हो जाएगा? तो आपको हिंट दिया गया है कि, और आपको पता है Earth is not a complete perfect spherical body. Is it a perfectly spherical body? No. So what? How is it? It is flatter. I mean, somewhat flatter at the poles and bulging at the equator. Yes. Right? And clearly, this is the center. So यहाँ की जो दूरी होगी और ये जो दूरी होगी ये ज़्यादा होगी, right? This distance will be more. ये थोड़ा छोटा तो कम है, ठीक है? So that is why gravity, because यहाँ पे पुल ज़्यादा experience होता है. So G at pole and G at equator का values भी different है. So वहाँ पे दिया गया है G at pole, gravity, acceleration due to gravity at pole is greater than acceleration due to gravity at equator. Is this clear? ठीक है? So this is the given information. So आपको पता है कि अमित ने जो pole लाया है, अमित ने ये जो gold लाया है from the pole, ठीक है? इसका वजन जब 10 ग्राम चेक किया होगा, तो ये 10 ग्राम कैसे मिला होगा? इसका वजन कहाँ पे किया होगा? वेइंग मशीन में. और वेइंग मशीन का फॉर्मूला क्या है? मास इनटू एक्सेलरेशन. ठीक है? सो लेट्स से दिस वाज 10 ग्राम फोर्स. 10 ग्राम फोर्स का वैल्यू आया होगा यहाँ पे, राइट? ठीक है? सो इसका मतलब क्या होता है कि दिस इज 10 into how much is the acceleration due to gravity? gp, right? So इसका वेट कितना होगा? वेट will be mass into acceleration due to gravity at pole, which is gp. ठीक है, सो ये दोनों का वैल्यू कुछ जो आएगा, ये आपको कुछ तो आया है 10 ग्राम फोर्स. एक्चुअली हमें पता नहीं है कितना है, दैट कम्स 10 ग्राम फोर्स. ठीक है, टुगेदर इट कम्स अराउंड 10 ग्राम फोर्स. सो ये कुछ एक्चुअली मास कुछ इतना होगा एंड 10 ग्राम फोर्स यहाँ पे आ गया. अब यही सेम चीज जो है, he will go and check at equator. So what will happen at equator? He will check whether it is 10 gram force only or not. So what will happen if he is going at equator? The acceleration due to gravity is now what? Changed. ठीक है? So the same x, since I'm putting in terms of x, it is more confusing for you guys. So let me just see how should I put it for you. Okay, let me know if you are having any difficulty in understanding. We'll simplify it in terms of putting numbers. So what happens is, ये जो x ग्राम इन्होंने actually लिया है, which is 10 grams basically, यहाँ पे measure करेंगे तो क्या हो जाएगा, जो weight दिखाई देगा, मैं आपको एक उल्टे फॉर्म में बताती हूँ, कुछ एक अलग फॉर्म में बताती हूँ. हम weight की बात करते हैं, ठीक है, weight की बात, सिंपली weight की बात करते हैं. ये क्या हो जाएगा, ये जो भी मास था, मास इनटू एक्सेलरेशन ड्यू टू ग्रेविटी वेट होगा. सो यहाँ पे क्या हो जाएगा, मास ऑफ द गोल्ड इनटू एक्सेलरेशन ड्यू टू ग्रेविटी, मास ऑफ गोल्ड इनटू एक्सेलरेशन ड्यू टू ग्रेविटी एट. ठीक है, जब वो ऑब्जेक्ट यहाँ से इक्वेटर में लाया है, उसका मास चेंज हो जाएगा क्या? नहीं, बिकॉज मास इज द अमाउंट ऑफ मैटर इनसाइड द बॉडी. सो ये मास तो सेम ही रह जाएगा, बट यहाँ पे जब चेक होगा तो ये जितना गोल्ड में मैटर था, वो मैटर तो सेम ही रहेगा. आपको नंबर्स की जरूरत नहीं है. लेट्स से ही जस्ट गॉट m ग्राम्स ऑफ गोल्ड. सो जब मास मैटर है उतना तो वही रहेगा, पर चेंज क्या हो जा रहा है, एक्सेलरेशन ड्यू टू ग्रेविटी एट इक्वेटर. सो अब यहाँ पे जब वजन चेक किया था तो दिखाई दे रहा था m इंटू ग्रेविटी एट गोल्ड, एंड वही सेम ऑब्जेक्ट का जब यहाँ पे मेजर किया तो क्या दिखाई दे रहा है, m इंटू ग्रेविटी एट इक्वेटर. राइट, सो मास तो सेम है, बट एक्सेलरेशन ड्यू टू ग्रेविटी कहाँ पे ज्यादा है, पोल्स पे ज्यादा है. तो एक्चुअली में ये जो गोल्ड खरीदा, इसका वजन कहाँ पे ज्यादा दिखाई देगा, पोल्स पे या इक्वेटर पे? पोल पे. So when this Amit is returning this to Rishi will think he is what, getting lesser or more gold? Lesser gold. ठीक है, so Amit had given some gram of gold. He thinks that he has given this much weight of gold. ठीक है, but then when he hands it over to Rishi and he cross check उसका वजन, then he checks that he is getting some less amount of gold. Why? Because of the acceleration due to gravity. Okay, so this is one thing, and this can be this they are given in terms of what? This they are given in terms of what? Gold. Let's say इतना कॉम्प्लिकेट करने की बजाय क्वेश्चन, उसकी वजह आपका वजन होता है. आप वजन पोल पे चेक करोगे, तो आप जब जमीन पे फोर्स अप्लाई कर रहे हो, क्या होगा, ज्यादा होगा, क्योंकि आपको कौन पुल कर रहा है नीचे, और बहुत ज्यादा पुल करेगा, बिकॉज एक्सेलरेशन ड्यू टू ग्रेविटी क्या है, ज्यादा. सो आप जब चेक करते हो तो आपका वजन क्या होता है, ज्यादा दिखाई देता है. बट आप विदिन अ डे, बिकॉज आजकल तो हम फ्लाइट लेकर मान लीजिए इक्वेटर में पहुंच गए, और इक्वेटर में हमने फिर से आपका वजन चेक कर लिया, कभी पुल क्या हो गया, थोड़ा कम हो गया. राइट, नाउ और फिर ना पुलिंग विद द सेम फोर्स, बिकॉज यहाँ पे क्या हो जाता है, एक्सेलरेशन ड्यू टू इक्वेटर क्या है, कम है. So, अब आपका वजन क्या हो जाएगा, कम हो जाएगा. तो आपको क्या लगेगा, oh, I have lost it. But is it true? Actually, no. Why is it so? Because of the acceleration due to gravity, the distance at poles are equator. Same happens with the case of gold also. Is this clear? Yes. Okay. So what will you say? So you don't have to explain this, just for the explanation. So what will you say? You will say that the weight at equator is lesser than weight at pole. Why? Because acceleration due to gravity at equator is lesser than acceleration due to gravity at pole. ठीक है? That is why Amit will think, sorry, whoever the friend is, the friend will think that he has received less gram of gold. All right, now let's solve this question now. Can you take question number 18 of page 142 of my textbook? I'm trying to find where it is in the volume. Quickly find the question. Page 144. Page 144. Question 18. Nobody having NCRT? Take the question. A ball thrown up vertically. A ball thrown up vertically. A ball thrown up vertically returns to the thrower. A ball thrown up vertically returns to the thrower after 6 seconds. After 6 seconds. Find the velocity with which it is thrown up. Find the velocity with which it is thrown up. The maximum height it reaches. So you have to find 3 things. The first is the velocity at which it is thrown up. Velocity with which it is thrown up. The second thing that you have to find is the maximum height it reaches. Maximum height it reaches. Third one is its position after 4 seconds. Its position after 4 seconds. It's my humble request to try as much questions as you can, then a chapter is done. But before we start solving many questions of volume, first see if you can attempt all the questions of NCR. So the given information is a ball is vertically thrown upwards and it returns to the thrower after 6 seconds. So information इतना है कि यहाँ से बॉल थ्रो किया गया है, वो ऊपर जाता है और रिटर्न आता है, और ये पूरा ट्रैवल जर्नी कितना है 6 सेकंड्स का. आपने ऊपर थ्रो किया, रिटर्न आया, कितने टाइम में आया 6 सेकंड में आया. That's the question, right? So time taken. So answer आपका शुरू हो जाता है यहाँ पे. Time taken for whole journey कितनी है? That is your given information 6 seconds. So अगर यहाँ से ऊपर जाकर रिटर्न आने के लिए 6 सेकंड लगता है, so यहाँ से मैक्सिमम हाइट पहुंचने के लिए कितना टाइम लगेगा? 3 seconds, right? So यहाँ से यहाँ जाने के लिए कितना टाइम लगा? 3 seconds. So let's just write T. This is you can try this, and we all know we have to make use of what? Kinematic equations of motion. So this is not just the given information. What is the other given information? ये कहाँ पे हो रहा है सारा? अर्थ पे हो रहा है, right? Yes. So बॉल नीचे क्यों आता है? Gravity. और ऊपर जाने का स्लो डाउन क्यों होता है? Gravity. So what is the acceleration due to gravity value? So we have two given information, time of the journey from here to here. So t is equal to 3 seconds. T of we can say, and g is equal to 9.8 meter per second square. ठीक है? अब जब ऊपर की तरफ जा रहा है, तो ऊपर की तरफ जा रहा है, this is up journey है, मैं लिख रही हूँ up journey. आपको मैं होमवर्क पे कर रही लिंक भी देकर जा रही हूँ. जब ऊपर की तरफ जा रहा है, तो सोच समझकर g की वैल्यू डालिए. पॉजिटिव होगी या नेगेटिव होगी, आप सोचकर डालिए. In next class we will discuss. That's the most important thing. Think and then put the value. Either it can be negative or positive. Whose book is this? Which is yours? Thank you very much. And try to go through other NCERT questions. Okay. Yes. हाँ